Have you seen this picture? It's a very famous drawing by Leonardo da Vinci called the Vitruvian Man. It's a classical study of human proportion based on the work of Vitruvius, who was a famous architect. In fact, most architecture today is based around the proportions of this body. The average body, the ideal body, the universal body. If you hadn't noticed, it's a male body. Look, it's got a penis. The term male privilege is often used to describe all privileges experienced by men, but as I explained in this video, not all men are necessarily male. So while there is a lot of overlap between male privilege and man privilege, I am going to separate them into two different labels. And today, we're dealing with male privilege. What's male privilege? Male privilege is when society treats males better than females. I'm using the hibiscus emoji to represent vaginas because apparently that's a thing. Let's look at some examples of male privilege. Example 1. Physical censorship. The crotch area for all human bodies is generally considered unacceptable for public display. Fair enough. But what about the nipples? Male nipples are acceptable. Female nipples are not acceptable. Objectively, this is sexist. Example 2. Language. The English language is full of sexist phrases. To have balls is seen as a compliment. Testicles are equated with courage, but to call someone a pussy is gravely insulting. Vaginas are associated with weakness of character. I mean, to be fair, dick, cock, tit, and arsehole are also insults. We don't like our bodies much. But for some reason, balls are great. Example 3. Bodily functions. All bodies sweat. All bodies poo. All bodies grow hair. But society is more comfortable portraying male bodies as stinky, sweaty, hairy, poopy farters than female bodies. These double standards are sexist. Now, why do these sexist double standards exist? I'm glad you asked. But to answer that question, I need to explain something else. The male gaze. The male gaze, a term coined by Laura Mulvey, is the theory that most visual culture, like movies, TV shows, and advertisements, is constructed from a heterosexual male point of view, where males are the subjects in most narratives, and females then become objects that males interact with. Have you perhaps heard of the word objectification? Objectification is when a person is reduced to nothing more than their physical body, usually in a sexual way. They then become thought of as more of an object than a human being with agency. Now, males can be objectified, of course. But female objectification is much more common. And that's what the male gaze does. Ooh, that's not a female. But can you tell? So how does the male gaze work? Well, here's an example. This is a female body, but when you apply the male gaze, now it's something I want to have sex with. So this is how we shall portray females in society. And what about menstruation, menopause, and pregnancy? These are all completely natural female bodily functions, and we shouldn't be afraid to discuss them. But when you apply the male gaze, now they are things I don't experience, and therefore don't understand, and therefore I consider them icky. That is how we shall portray them in society. And how about male bodies? Well, males are mostly depicted how males wish to see themselves. Powerful, professionally, sexually, and authoritatively powerful. And that's male privilege, where males are associated with power, agency, and leadership, and the male human body is subconsciously seen as the normal human body. Speaking of which, let's go back to the Vitruvian Man. Here is the Vitruvian Man, and here is a stick figure version. But take away the circle and square and you are left with this stick figure. This stick figure is sexually neutral. This stick figure has no sexually defining characteristics, but to most people, this stick figure would read as male. And that's basically what I'm saying. Don't be sexist.